It's Wednesday, May 15th. The Supreme Court on Tuesday granted bail to BJP youth wing leader Priyanka Sharma, who was arrested last Friday for sharing a meme of West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. The apex court first asked Sharma to tender an apology, but later modified its order and directed that she be released immediately. The larger question pertaining to freedom of expression has been kept open by the court and a notice issued to the West Bengal government. Among the sections Sharma has been charged under is 66A of the Information Technology Act. The Supreme Court, remember, had struck down this provision in 2015, ruling that it was unconstitutional. A study conducted by the Internet Freedom Foundation published in October 2018 found that Section 66A of the Information Technology Act continues to be used by police across India in prosecutions. This meant people were being prosecuted, even ending up in jail for a law which did not exist. The People's Union for Civil Liberties moved the Supreme Court again in January 2019, saying 3 years after the section was struck down, people were still being booked under the provision. In February, the Supreme Court issued directions to all state governments to sensitize their police personnel about its March 2015 verdict, which had scrapped Section 66 of the IT Act so that people are not unnecessarily arrested under the provision. All high courts were asked to send the copy of the verdict to all trial courts to avoid people being prosecuted under the section that provided for jail term to people who posted offensive content online. WhatsApp needs its 1.5 billion users to update their apps immediately after a spyware crafted by a quote advanced cyber actor infected several phones across the world, reported the Associated Press. Reportedly developed by Israeli cyber intelligence company NSO, the spyware enabled hackers to transmit malicious code into the target's device through a simple WhatsApp call. Logs of incoming calls were often erased, and users didn't even have to pick up the call for their phones to be infected, said the Financial Times that reported first on the matter. WhatsApp said they discovered the hack a month earlier but did not have data on exactly how many people have been affected. The Facebook subsidiary published their new update on Monday. Israeli NSO is the maker of the spyware, Pegasus, which it claims is sold only to state intelligence agencies. The spyware's capabilities are near absolute. Once installed on a phone, the spyware can extract all of the data that's already on the device: text messages, contacts, GPS location, email, browser history, etc. In addition to creating new data by using the phone's microphone and camera to record the user's surroundings and ambient sounds, the New York Times had earlier reported on the matter. NSO's spyware has been repeatedly used to hack journalists and activists, including American journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who was brutally murdered at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul last year. Between 2018 and 2040, the number of patients requiring first-course chemotherapy annually will increase from 9.8 million to 15 million, a relative increase of 53%, finds a study published in The Lancet Oncology. The estimated proportion of patients needing chemotherapy who reside in low-income or middle-income countries was 63% in 2018 and will be 67% in 2040, the study finds. The most common indications for chemotherapy worldwide in 2040 will be lung cancer, breast cancer, and colorectal cancer. The study, which is aimed at projecting global medical requirements, estimates that in 2018, 65,000 cancer physicians were required worldwide to deliver optimal chemotherapy, a figure that the report estimates will rise to 100,000 by 2040, which is to say there will be a shortage of specialists who can deliver the life-saving treatment. In a press statement reported by Reuters, the researchers said, "The rising global cancer burden is undoubtedly one of the major health crises of today. Strategies are urgently needed to equip the global health workforce to enable safe treatment of current and future patients. Countries and institutions should use our data to estimate their future cancer physician workforce requirements and chemotherapy needs and plan national, regional, and global strategies to ensure all those who need it will have access to chemotherapy treatment." Of the more than 15 million people estimated to require chemotherapy in 2040, 5.2 million or 35% would be living in Eastern Asia, the researchers predicted. Another 1.7 million or 12% would be residing in South Central Asia. A 45-year-old Muslim man has been stabbed to death by a mob as anti-Muslim attacks. Backlash against the Easter Sunday bombings spread to 3 districts north of Colombo, AFP reported. Since Sunday, violence against Muslims have been on the upsurge. Several mosques and Muslim households have been attacked. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has appealed to all citizens to remain calm and not be swayed by false information. Security forces, he said, are working tirelessly to apprehend terrorists and ensure security of the country. But each time there is civil unrest, we increase their burden and hamper ongoing investigations, the Prime Minister said. Muslims account for almost 10% of Sri Lanka's 22 million people. A group of suicide bombers had carried out a series of blasts at churches and luxury hotels in that country on the 21st of April, killing 253 people. The Islamic State claimed responsibility for the attacks. Local Islamist group, the National Tawheed Jamaat, is believed by investigators to be behind the attack. And finally, he may be behind bars soon, but he's earned fans world over almost overnight. A 27-year-old unnamed student in South Africa has been arrested for eating for free at KFC for a whole year by simply claiming that head office sent him to taste if the joint is up to standard. The news, shared originally by Kenyan journalist Teddy Eugene on Twitter, went viral, prompting memes and much salutation for this smooth operator. Well, talk about bucks of confidence. See you tomorrow.